Frodo was lying in the middle of a busy street, unable to move. Cars passed by. People looked. Some even pulled out their phones to record. A large swelling on his body made it clear something was very wrong. But even though hundreds of people saw him that day, no one stepped forward to help. His breathing was weak, his eyes wide with both pain and hope, as if asking, will anyone care? For hours, Frodo lay there with the world walking past him. People whispered, some posted his picture online, but nobody came close. Until one person finally saw those videos and couldn't ignore them. They rushed to the location, praying they weren't too late. When they arrived, Frodo was still there, quiet, head lowered, as if waiting for life to end. They knelt down, called his name, and to their surprise, Frodo didn't resist. He trusted them enough to let them pick him up and carry him away. That was the moment everything changed. At the clinic, the doctors gathered quickly. They saw the swelling and knew right away it was a tumor. The problem was serious. It needed surgery. But Frodo's body was so weak, the doctors weren't sure he could survive the procedure. Still, there was no other option. To give him a chance, they had to try. First, the doctors needed to make him stronger. Frodo was put under 24-hour care. He was given medicines, food, and constant monitoring to prepare him for surgery. His rescuer never left him. They fed him by hand, stayed with him late into the night, and made sure he knew he wasn't alone anymore. Even though Frodo was in pain, he never snapped or fought back. He remained calm and gentle, showing a quiet strength that impressed everyone who met him. Days turned into weeks. The medical team worked carefully, adjusting his diet, giving new treatments, and keeping his body stable. Each little improvement felt like a victory. A bit more appetite, a steadier step. Every sign gave hope that Frodo might survive. Finally, the doctors decided it was time. Frodo was ready for surgery. On that morning, his rescuer stood by the door of the operating room, heart racing. The risks were high, the surgery would be long, but Frodo had already proven he was a fighter. Hours passed, each one heavier than the last. At last, the doors opened. The surgery had been successful. The tumor was removed, and Frodo's fragile body had made it through. Now all they could do was wait for him to wake up. When his eyes slowly opened, relief filled the room. He was alive. His breathing was steady. His body, finally free from the heavy tumor, was lighter. His rescuer leaned close and whispered, "You did it, Frodo. You're safe now." From that moment, the recovery began. Each day, Frodo showed progress. His meals gave him back energy. His coat began to shine. His eyes looked brighter. His tail, once still, started wagging again. The staff at the clinic adored him. They said his calm spirit and gentle nature inspired them. For them, Frodo wasn't just recovering. He was a reminder of why they became healers in the first place. Soon, Frodo was strong enough to step outside. At first, he only managed a few careful steps in the garden. Then, day by day, he walked farther. One afternoon, he even started running short distances. His ears bounced, his face lit up, and his tail wagged with joy. For the first time in so long, he was enjoying life like a dog should. When the time came to leave the clinic, Frodo wasn't going back to loneliness. He went to a new home with a loving family. They promised him safety, warmth, and affection. In his new yard, Frodo played freely, chased toys, and lay in the sun. He was no longer the forgotten dog in the street. He was now a beloved pet with a family who truly cared. Frodo's story shows how much difference one act of kindness can make. Hundreds of people saw him that day, but only one chose to stop. That single choice saved his life. Now, Frodo lives every day with love and joy. His past is behind him. What lies ahead is a life full of care, comfort, and happiness. If Frodo's journey touched you, give this story a like. Even sharing it helps more animals like him find the love they deserve.